Okay, so one of the hardest things to discern as a believer in this day and age is who's right, who's wrong, what are the facts, and who do you have to believe, right? So with this Durham report that I talked about yesterday, as well as Trump, many other people that are stepping up and saying certain things, making allegations, saying this is what the truth is, this is what you got to believe. The CNN town hall, for example, and just many other things. Trump famously talking about the 2020 election being stolen. So some of these things that are being projected, right? A lot of people, if they don't have discernment, they're going to be very confused. And so I believe that this is a good time to remind a lot of people that it's possible to have a sense of discernment based on the criteria, the motive behind a person, and just the whole atmosphere. And I believe that if you actually have the Holy Spirit in you and you're praying, then you can see some of these things firsthand. And so one of the things that's very common is that when somebody comes out to tell the truth, to make assertions about certain things, everybody starts attacking them, right? And so I've been on this platform for a while, and I'm not going to say that I am a perfect person, obviously, but when I say certain things and I reflect on it and I say, okay, well, I did it to the best of my ability. I spoke truth. I was firm. I was assertive. Other times I was long-winded. I could be more concise. I could have had better word choice. So I'm sitting here doing videos and I'm reflecting on this aspect because I have firsthand experience in terms of projecting myself and then seeing the reactions, how intense certain things are, how fiery, the responses and these things, right? And so I'm saying this because as I experienced it, I have grown tremendously to be able to then discern other people, right? A lot of people attacking Trump, a lot of people attacking certain, if you want to say patriots, conservatives, Christians, what have you. And when I look at that, I see the media, I see the people that are writing articles, that are commenting. And I used to be in a place for which I was confused. Like, is Trump a good guy? Are these people wrong? Or is Durham? Like, if I was, 10 years ago, I would be so confused about Durham. Everybody's saying all these things. He's wrong. He's this and that. Wasting time and took so long, wasting money and just all these things, right? And so when you don't have that kind of experience and discernment, then you look at somebody like that and you get confused because everybody's fighting, putting them down and just throwing them under the bus and things like that. And what I've realized, just like Solomon, right? This just came to my mind. King Solomon, he had all this wisdom. And one of the things that he famously did was that these two women came to him basically, and they're fighting over a baby, saying, "This is my son." And everybody, if they looked at it, if they didn't have discernment, they would have looked at the two mothers. One's real, one's fake, and they would have, because one of them died, right? And so the other mother, the fake mother, wanted to take the other baby. And what King Solomon famously did was that he allowed some sort of a test to say, "Hey, split the baby in half." And you know this story if you read the Bible. Split the baby in half and let's give one to this person, one to the other. And he famously, based on the reaction of the mother, saying, yes, one saying, yes, split them. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. The other person saying, no, give it to the other person. He discerned that the person that said, hey, give it to the other person was the actual mom. And so this is what he did to test and understand and discern the nuances behind human psychology, their behavioral, reaction, things like that. And so just like that, he had the spirit to be able to discern and have that wisdom. You can also grow in this area. And so the more you see this battle, the more you see people being ridiculed and put down, and you're seeing the motive behind the person, then you can understand what's going on. So I'm not trying to bring this on myself, but when I look at other people and seeing what their conclusion is, right? Oh, this guy's wrong. He's a false prophet. Oh, he's a blah, blah, blah. I look at it and I think, okay, this person doesn't have a clear understanding of certain things. This person or that group doesn't have a real good grasp of the subject at hand, the subject matter, right? I saw the town hall, the person declaring, oh, 2020, it's proven to be, fake and blah, blah, blah. And aren't you going to admit it? And these things, right? So that person didn't know the subject, right? And so if you discern a situation the way King Solomon discern the situation, the way that you look at people attacking other people, you can see deeper beyond the surface level. And so that's why a lot of people are so confused. They're confused because they're hearing loud voices. They're hearing these fallacies being put in there, straw man, and just appeal to authority, and many other things. And they're confused because they don't have that discernment. But once you get deeper and you have the kind of Holy Spirit or the wisdom that was given to King Solomon and many of us these days that are looking at human behavior, their reactions, if you're over target, what happens when you're over target? You get attacked, right? You triangulate all these things to make a conclusion to say, okay, something's off. I don't have the full picture. I don't have the full story. And so those that don't have discernment, they're going to look at people speaking the loudest and saying, oh, I guess there is no election fraud. Oh, I guess Durham has come to no conclusion. And so they're picking and choosing these little sound bites and stories, and they're coming to a conclusion. They're looking at a speaker. They're looking at a pastor, a YouTuber. They're looking at certain people and they're piecing things together, thinking that they understand and have a conclusion. Oh, this guy is not a believer. This guy he doesn't know Christ. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I know what I have with the Lord. Trump, these other guys, they all know what they have with the Lord. And so as an encouragement to you, you know what you have as well. But to those that are seeking discernment and trying to grow, this is what I'm telling you. As a childish level of maturity, to elevate to that next level, you have to get to a point for which, as you're asking the Lord for discernment and you're seeing deeper, you're seeing the deeper seatedness of the motive behind somebody, then you can make a better conclusion. So I'm saying this not as, defending anybody, but because I've experienced this as I'm sitting here and I'm really introspectively evaluating where I stand. When I say something, what is the reaction? Why is it that somebody would have this kind of conclusion? Because I know what I have. Trump, these other guys, they know what they have. But because there's so much, talk, right? A lot of, war, right? In the atmosphere, the airwaves just being bombarded with all sorts of opinions. No wonder people are confused. And so that's why you have to get right with the Lord. You have to ask for King Solomon type discernment, and then you can see through the little things, right? If you were sitting there and you saw King Solomon do this, the stupid people, if I want to be honest, would look at it and say, wow, what a crazy conclusion. How did you do that, right? But it's so easy when you have the Lord and you can look beyond, like, okay, have that instinct to say, okay, this mom, that mom, what are they doing? And what is behind that? And so that's why when you see certain people standing up and declaring certain things, you don't repackage. I'm reading all these articles about Durham and everybody on the left and these, non-Christians, non-believers, they're all saying these things, trying to skew it, and they're making it sound real good and trying to discredit him and these types of articles. It's crazy to me. Like, if you just go read even the summary page, just read a little bit of what the implication behind this is with regards to the DOJ, the FBI, these guys doing this. And yet they refuse to believe and they refuse to want to look at these things. And I'm just so flabbergasted by some of these reactions. And so this is a time now for which you got to recognize, right? Who's real, who's godly, who is upholding righteous biblical values, and who's actually wise and discerning. You don't want to just talk and see the loudest guy, the one with the credentials. These things, think beyond all the noise. Get to the root of it. Try to get and understand the motive behind it. So that's why people that really discern who Trump is, really discern who these other guys are, just Durham, myself, many other people, you really discern and you understand, okay, who's who? Who's the real people? Who what's really going on? Yes, some people have some blemishes, make some mistakes and things like that. But you look beyond that and you see, okay, what is the motive behind it? What is really the authenticity of all of what's happening right now? So you can see those things. And I guarantee you, if you pray and you discern that, you seek after these things, not believing what you want to believe, then you can get to that place of seeing with clarity. So I just wanted to give you guys this quick word of encouragement. Don't be discouraged by all this noise and all that stuff. Just continue learning and growing. So this will be something for you to take as you move forward in your path, in your walk with Him, as you tackle persecution, as you tackle people, as you tackle image, as you tackle your branding of how you portray yourself, your perception, all these things. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.